Since making history as Emmerdale's first transgender character back in 2018, Matty Barton has had to overcome many challenges.
Yeah, but since being sent to prison where he's been hiding his true identity, Matty has faced his toughest ordeal yet.
Talking to actor Palmisciano in just a few moments, but let's take a look back at how Matty landed himself in jail.
No, sorry, boys, we're closed.
No, you're not.
Money now! Tell her!
Come on, do it!
I'm closing up.
Samson, get that money! What the hell have you done?
I just don't even know what's happened, Jay.
You better pray my lad's all right, because if he isn't...
Move away, sir.
Josh pushed him onto me. I'm telling you. Please, Samson, just give me a chance, mate. I'm staying out of prison. What have you done? I thought you were going to tell the truth.
I have.
I can't! Samson, I can't! I can't go to prison!
What's it really like?
It's like a nightmare. I'm scared every second of every day.
Where is it? My backing. If you're lying to me, I'll kill you.
If anyone gives you any trouble, then you hurt them, so they'll never do it again.
Did you see that guy behind me? He keeps asking me why I've got a son on my own, why am I getting special privileges. It's only a matter of time before someone finds out.
Oh, and Ash Palmisciano, who plays Matty Barton, joins us now alongside Jackson Feely, who, after transitioning himself whilst working as a prison guard, has helped Ash navigate his Emmerdale storyline. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Oh, thanks for having us. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, I'm, like, so on tenterhooks about this. So, for those people that don't know, tell us how Matty ended up in prison.
So, yeah, it was such a terrible day for Matty. He's such a nice guy. He's a cheeky chappy. You know, he went to work as normal and he got into an altercation with a couple of naughty boys in the village. One in particular is not a very nice character.
Yeah.
Been quite transphobic to Matty and they ended up in an argument and they tried to rob him. And in pure self-defence, he was trying to get them out, and it was an accident. It was pushed onto him while Matty was holding a knife. But because of who Matty is, he panicked.
Right.
And he said, I can't go to prison. So he went round to see them, and he kind of made the situation worse for himself. So now he's being held on remand, as we just saw there.
He's held on remand and things are getting tense in prison as well. He's confided in someone finally and you feel like that's sort of... And actually the reaction that he's had surprised him.
That's it. So he's gone in, he's been advised not to mention who he is because obviously... As a sort of more softer, nicer guy, he's vulnerable anyway, let alone the fact he's transgender. So he's kept it to himself. And obviously, it was all going fine. He was sort of learning to get to grips with it. But then he's been put in with a cellmate. And obviously, you know, you'll probably be able to talk about this. When you're locked in a cell of that size, there's only so much you can hide from someone, right? And Matty's going off and he's going off to have chats with people. He's going off for his hormones and stuff. And his cellmate sort of confronts him and says, you know, look, I know something's up with you. The other guys are here and questioning who you are. You're being too quiet. You're not being quite right. So yeah, he has to sort of say, this guy sort of wants to help him, and he has to sort of say, OK, this is who I am. And like, it's been so amazing to play, so terrifying, so scary, but so great.
And without giving too much away, things are going to get tougher, right?
That's right, they are, because obviously, as I said, he's got this cellmate that's sort of defending him. He's a bit of a rough kind of diamond. He's a good guy, sort of ended up in there. And he wants to look after Matty, but he needs to know the truth. But obviously, once it's out, there's other characters in there that aren't as understanding. I mean, he's incredibly vulnerable. And let's face it, like, you know, being inside and having an extra added target on your back is gonna, of course, cause a threat. So, yeah, there's lots to come. And it's, as I said, it's been so exciting to do. And
we've got it's a big episode tonight. I think we have an exclusive clip. So we're going to show a little clip from tonight's app.
Bit sus, this one. But the conversation's riveting in here, eh?
Did you want something?
Yeah, just chatting.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone's interested.
Not me, anyway.
Is that right?
Off you pop, then.
What's the story with him, anyway?
I won't tell you again.
Oh, it's so tense.
So
tense. So tense. And like, just putting myself in that situation, you know, being in that place where you don't want to say who you are, but if it's going to add a bit of protection for you, maybe will he risk it? Will he say to his cellmate, you know, this is who I am? How is that going to go? Is it going to make his life worse? Is it going to help him? And I think just from a human side, doesn't matter who he is, seeing that vulnerability, seeing a human in such a vulnerable position, you know, you want, and those connections, you want them to be all right. Do you know what I mean? And
it's fascinating. It's such a relevant conversation right now as well. Jackson, can we ask a little bit about your experience? Because you advise on this story. You've been helping Matty, you've been helping Ash, and you've been helping with the Matty storyline.
Yeah.
What was your experience? Because you were a prison guard and you transitioned while you were a prison guard.
Yes, so I served 3 years as a female officer and then transitioned whilst still working in the male prison and served another 3 years as a male officer. And it certainly wasn't something that I thought I would be able to do. You know, prisons are very dangerous places anyway, without then putting another protected characteristic, another target on your back that a lot of people still disagree with. So it was definitely something that I thought would be extremely dangerous. And it turns out that I actually found it really humane and really tried to take those prisoners on that journey with me and show them that it takes vulnerability and it takes looking yourself in the mirror and doing the hard things if you really want to change your life.
What was their reaction for those inmates?
I think seeing me so vulnerable and so honest made them think, actually, we're all just humans struggling with one thing or another and trying to adapt to the changes that we're so terrified to make in our lives. And prisons can be extremely dangerous, scary places, but they can also be the most human places because everything is stripped back and you're really back to basics. And they saw me in that position and thought, actually, it started to give them the courage and the belief that it's never too late to change your own life.
I think one of the most amazing things about all of the soaps, actually, and we've had it a lot when people have come, actors have come and sat here on the couch, is that they can react to society instantaneously, in the moment. And so they've opened up these kind of conversations. Why is that so important?
It's so important, and it's so current right now, as we know. You know, stories like this, it's almost like we're doing it in real time, which is so exciting to be a part of. And I think we can both relate. Like growing up, there were no characters like Matty on TV at all. So when we're all growing up, you want to see someone you relate to or maybe a little bit similar, and it just helps you feel a little bit more that, you know, I can have a great life. I can, you know, go out and be somebody and do stuff. And I think for us, like, it's great to be able to tell that story and just humanise it as well and break down those fears and just sort of, especially what I've always tried to do with Matty, is just do this character that just so happens to be trans, that's going through all these normal life challenges that we all go through. You know, he's just recently got married, which is amazing. Obviously, he's in prison now, so it's took a bit of a dive. But yeah, going through all these things that everyone goes through, you know, and being able to tell that story is so important right now.
I think that one of the reasons as well that it resonates, Jackson, would be because it is so like it would be in real life. Right. I mean, and that's your perspective on this. That's why you're there, you're advising on the storylines. How have you found the experience of being on a soap, being on a set and working with actors and I know everything that goes with it?
I just think it's fantastic. I think, like we were just saying then, the ability through soap and on-screen representation is so powerful. Visibility is the thing that reassures someone else that their life is worth living and that it's not better if I take my own life, which, you know, a lot of the dangerous narrative that's around at the moment, that's what it makes people feel like. And to see, if we can't see it, we can't believe it. So to see, you know, to see Ash and what he's doing and be able to see that I can have a life, I can have a relationship, my family doesn't have to disown me, I can do this, you know, I have to keep going, there's hope, rather than giving up because I can't see or feel or know that it's OK to be myself.
Yeah, well, we have to say hats off to the Emmerdale team for getting you involved. And
that
you
reaction,
guys
Ash, you've got a letter, haven't you, you've been sent that you keep with you. Tell us about the letter.
I think, so obviously when I took on this role, it was a big decision because I come from a small town with a really lovely family and I was living as Ash. I didn't have to put myself out there in the world, and obviously I was trying to get into this, and when I decided to take on the role, I knew it was going to come with some stick. I knew I was going to get some flack. You know what it's like as you put yourself out there.
Regardless, yeah.
But one thing I got was this letter, and I'll never forget it. A young trans guy came with his mum to see a show that I was in and said, "Can you read this later, like not in front of me?" and it was talking about what a difficult time they were having at school and how life had been really tough, but actually just seeing this character in a soap made it easier to navigate at school, and they could say, hey, do you know what? I'm a little bit like Matty and Emmerdale, so that's it. So they didn't have to go into all the dialogue. So just being a reference point, if it's helped someone's life, it's been worth it, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And you carry that with you all the time?
Yeah, I keep it in my bag every day.
Amazing.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
You can see it, you can...
Thank you for coming in, especially post-Glastonbury, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We saw the wellies.
How's that going?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was so good, but I probably feel like most other people, like, I need some coffee today.
Slightly spent.
Yeah, slightly spent. Yeah, not going to be using, you know, any toilets for a while, any festival toilets. Going to stay away from them for a bit. Hot showers are great at home. Yeah, I feel great. It was so lovely. It was
great
well,
stuff.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for
Thanks for
having us.
coming in and sharing your story as well.
Thank you
very much.